Thanks for covering the bill, I said with a smirk. I went ahead and canceled yours. My husband's laughter came to an abrupt stop. His mother, who had been chuckling alongside him, fell silent. They were expecting me to be upset, maybe even humiliated. But instead, I smiled. You're weird, my husband scoffed. Don't you realize we tricked you? Wouldn't most people be mad? I met his gaze, my expression calm. Oh, but I haven't been tricked at all. You see, I haven't paid a cent for this trip. His mother's eyes widened in confusion, and I could already tell this was going to be fun. My name is Laura, and I'm a 32-year-old housewife. I met my husband, James, through work. He was a client, and over time we grew closer. Since we were the same age, we had a lot in common, and our friendship quickly turned into something more. 1 year later, we were married. I thought I had found my happily ever after. For the first year, everything seemed perfect. James was incredibly kind and always showed his appreciation for me. Wanting to make him happy, I put my all into housework. He had wanted a stay-at-home wife, so I quit my job to take care of the house. Every day, I prepared breakfast, packed his lunch, and made elaborate dinners. I cleaned the house, did the laundry, and made sure everything was in order. Life is so comfortable with you around, he used to say. You're really helping me out. Those words made me happy. They made all the effort feel worth it. But as time passed, things started to change. The spark we once had began to fade. Lately, James had grown indifferent. No matter what I did for him, he barely reacted. Tonight, I made your favorite fried chicken, I told him one evening, hoping to see even a flicker of excitement. Oh, he muttered. All right. Was work tough today? I asked. Yeah, I guess so, he replied, barely looking at me. I tried to comfort him. I feel bad for you, so feel free to take a bath whenever. Yeah, whatever, he said dismissively before walking away. It wasn't just his words. His actions had changed too. In the beginning, he used to come home on time every night. Now he arrived late more often than not. He started going out for drinks without even telling me, leaving me with wasted dinners and a hollow feeling in my chest. Was this what they called the 7-year itch? But we had only been married for 2 years. I missed the loving man I had married. Was it too much to ask for him to show me some affection? As if things weren't bad enough, there was another problem. My mother-in-law arose. From the moment James and I got married, she had never been fond of me. No matter what I did, she found a reason to complain. You're so plain. Can't you wear something more colorful? She once said with a look of disgust. Oh, right, you probably can't because your face is plain too. She criticized my cooking as well. The food you make is bland. Not even tasty. Just terrible. Every time we visited my in-laws, she would badmouth me endlessly. She was relentless, never missing an opportunity to make me feel small. As if that wasn't enough, after 2 years of marriage, she started pressuring me to have a child. You should be giving us a grandchild by now, she nagged constantly. How was I supposed to bring a child into this toxic environment? My father-in-law never intervened. It was as if he found the whole situation too troublesome to deal with. I thought things couldn't get worse, until James and his mother decided to pull the ultimate betrayal. They planned a luxurious vacation and conveniently forgot to include me. But that wasn't the worst part. They made sure to leave me with the bill, thinking it would be hilarious to make me pay for their extravagant trip while they enjoyed themselves in a 5-star hotel. Too bad for them, I was already 1 step ahead. I had been noticing James' cold behavior for a while now, so I had started preparing. I had secretly saved up money and found a way to get my revenge. As James and his mother reveled in their deceit, I smiled sweetly and said, by all means, have a great time. Their laughter stopped immediately. You canceled our reservation? James stammered. Of course, I replied. And since I never paid for this trip, I won't be losing anything. My mother-in-law's face turned red with rage. How could you do this to us? I tilted my head, feigning innocence. Oh, did you really think I'd let you trick me so easily? I might be a housewife, but I'm not a fool. As they stood there, speechless, I walked away with my head held high. I may have lost the love I once thought I had, but I had gained something far more important: my dignity. Despite the challenges, I always held on to hope. My husband had turned a blind eye to his mother's cruelty, offering me no protection. It devastated me. I had at least wanted him on my side. Feeling utterly lonely, I threw myself into my daily routine, hoping things would somehow get better. Then one day, I felt unwell. I assumed it was exhaustion, but something told me to see a doctor. That visit changed everything. "You're pregnant," the doctor said with a warm smile. "What?" My eyes widened in shock. I had no idea. But once the initial surprise wore off, happiness flooded my heart. A baby. A new family member. I imagined my husband holding our child, the three of us finally becoming the happy family I had always dreamed of. When James got home from work that night, I could barely contain my excitement. "Really?" he asked, his usual indifference replaced by wide-eyed surprise. I nodded, my heart pounding. "I'm going to be a dad?" His lips slowly curved into a genuine smile, one I hadn't seen in a long time. "Thank you, Laura." For the first time in months, I felt truly happy. To my surprise, my in-laws were also thrilled by the news. Even my mother-in-law, who had always been cruel, suddenly became kind to me. Since my family lived far away, she started visiting frequently, offering help and advice. My husband, too, was more considerate. "Don't overexert yourself," he told me. "Just focus on the baby." It felt as if I had my loving husband back. For a short while, I lived in this dream, believing things had changed for the better. But my happiness was short-lived. The turning point came when I revealed the baby's gender. "It's a girl," I told my in-laws, expecting them to be just as excited as I was. But my mother-in-law's smile disappeared. Her face twisted with disappointment. "You can't even give birth to a boy, huh?" she scoffed. I blinked, unsure if I had heard her correctly. Surely she was joking? But no, her tone was serious. Apparently, she was old-fashioned and believed that only a son could carry on the family legacy. From that day forward, she withdrew all her support. She stopped visiting, stopped calling, and acted as if I no longer existed. I was left to handle everything on my own, even on days when I felt my worst. But what hurt the most was my husband's reaction. He didn't seem to care about the baby's gender, but he also didn't defend me. Worse, he started complaining whenever I couldn't keep up with the housework. "You didn't make dinner again," he snapped one evening. "You've just been lounging on the couch all day." "I'm sorry," I mumbled, my body aching. "I haven't been feeling well." "Don't be such a baby," he scoffed. "I have to go to work even when I'm sick. You're a housewife. Housework is your job." His words cut deep. The man who once cared about me was gone. The only thing keeping me going was the baby growing inside me. I clung to the hope that things would change once she was born. The moment I held my daughter for the first time, all my pain melted away. She was perfect. She was mine. James, to my surprise, was emotional when he first saw her. "She's as cute as an angel," he murmured. For a brief moment, I thought that maybe, just maybe, we could finally be a happy family. But that illusion didn't last. The moment we returned home, James reverted to his cold, distant self. While I spent sleepless nights caring for our daughter, he barely lifted a finger to help. If she cried, he ignored it. If her diaper needed changing, he looked to me. Even with the overwhelming responsibility of motherhood, he continued his selfish demands. "What about dinner?" he asked as I rocked our crying daughter in my arms. "Is the bath ready?" Day by day, my trust in him eroded. The thought of divorce crossed my mind more than once. But with a newborn baby and no job, I felt trapped. All I could do was wait for the right time. The only silver lining? I no longer had to visit my in-laws. My mother-in-law had no interest in my daughter, so my husband didn't push me to go. Time flew by, and before I knew it, my daughter was 3 years old. As she learned to talk and play, James finally started showing interest in her. Though our marriage had turned cold, I appreciated the effort he put into being a father. But something else started to bother me. Over the past year, James had been acting strangely. He suddenly started caring more about his appearance. He used to let his hair grow out until I nagged him to get a haircut, but now he was going to a salon regularly. His new hairstyles were always stylish, and I noticed he was using cologne, something he had never bothered with before. He also started shopping for clothes, picking out trendier outfits instead of his usual simple attire. At first, I thought he had just taken an interest in fashion. But then I noticed something else. He was restless, constantly checking his phone, smiling at messages. And suddenly, he had work outings more often than before. A terrible thought crept into my mind. Is he cheating on me? I started paying closer attention. One evening, while James was in the bathroom, his phone buzzed on the table. I hesitated for a moment before picking it up. A new message had just arrived. My stomach dropped as I read the words. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, red heart, red heart, red heart. It was from a woman named Jennifer. I felt my breath catch. Tomorrow night? But he had told me he was going out for drinks with his coworkers. He lied. My hands trembled as I put the phone back down, my heart pounding in my chest. Once you start suspecting, it's impossible to stop. Once you start suspecting something, everything seems suspicious. I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that gnawed at me. Every late-night work outing, every secretive glance at his phone, it all pointed to one thing. I had to know the truth. So, I hired a private investigator. Weeks later, the results confirmed my worst fear. James was cheating on me. Apparently, he was having an affair with a female colleague from work. My hands clenched as I read through the evidence. The late-night messages, the dinner reservations, the hotel bookings, it was all there. He hadn't just crossed a line. He had shattered it. No matter how strained our marriage had been, this was unforgivable. I refused to be the helpless wife anymore. It was time to take control. I hired a divorce lawyer and began preparing my exit strategy. I also started searching for a job to support myself and my daughter after the divorce. And then, out of nowhere, James made an unexpected offer. How about we take a trip for Dad's 60th birthday? He asked one evening, as if nothing had happened. I almost laughed at the irony. He was acting like a devoted husband now. Sure, I said flatly. Have a great time? His expression shifted. Don't be cold. You're coming too, right? I raised an eyebrow. What's your angle, James? What's the deal? I asked. You've acted like you're not interested in me for years. Likewise, you didn't seem interested in me either, he shot back, his voice laced with frustration. He sighed, rubbing his temples. Look, my dad's turning 60. We should all celebrate together. So, help me out here. I didn't really want to go. Spending time with his family sounded like torture. But then, when he mentioned the dates, an idea clicked in my mind. A perfect opportunity for revenge. Fine, I said, forcing a smile. We'll leave our daughter with my sister. Great. Also, you can handle the hotel and flight bookings. I blinked. Oh, really? You want me to handle the trip? What? I asked, pretending to be surprised. I'm busy on weekdays, so I'd like you to take care of it, he said. I hesitated, as if thinking about it. Then, I smirked internally and nodded. All right. Just put it on the credit card. You can pay me back later.
Sure.
Apparently, there are benefits if we pay by credit card.
You have no idea, James.
As he smiled, relieved that I was handling everything, I was smiling for a very different reason. It's time for revenge. A month later, the day of my father-in-law's 60th birthday trip arrived. James and I drove to the airport, where we met up with his dear parents. His mother, Rose, gave me a once-over and immediately sneered. A long time no see, Laura. It's been a while. You haven't changed a bit. Still looking plain as ever. James's father chuckled under his breath, doing nothing to stop her. I smirked. Oh, you have no idea what's coming, Rose. Without missing a beat, I tilted my head and replied, And Rose, you're still carrying extra weight, I see. The air froze. The expression on my husband's face went stiff. His father's smile vanished. My mother-in-law's eyes widened in disbelief. What the heck? James hissed. You can't just say that. That's so rude. You need to apologize to Mom, he demanded. Will she apologize to me for calling me plain? I asked sweetly. Rose scoffed, crossing her arms. Why would I apologize? I just stated the facts. I shrugged. So did I. The tension was delicious. Enough, James snapped. Don't insult Mom. I let out a small laugh. Oh, could it be that you're not overweight but actually pregnant? I asked, pretending to be concerned. You look about the same size as when I was pregnant. My apologies for the mistake. Rose's face turned red. James glared at me. What's wrong with you? We haven't seen each other in ages, and this is how you talk to my mother? I smirked. And you can't even have a son, huh? Rose gasped. Excuse me? I leaned in slightly, my voice lower and sharper. I really couldn't care less if you call me useless, but for the record, I'm not the one sinking like you are. Silence. For the first time in years, Rose was speechless. James clenched his fists, his face turning red with anger. And I was just getting started. Rose was fuming. After my constant jabs, she finally lost her temper and stormed off. I can't stand to look at your face anymore, she shrieked. James sighed, clearly annoyed. Ugh, cool down, Mom. Take some time to clear your head. Then, just like that, he walked away with his parents, leaving me standing alone. Coward. With a few hours left before the flight, they probably went off to sulk at a cafe. I was relieved to have some time to myself, so I grabbed a coffee and relaxed at a quiet spot. But my peace was short-lived. A text from James popped up. Come to the gate soon. When I arrived, I saw my mother-in-law leaning against my father-in-law, looking weak. Acting, huh? What's going on? I asked. James sighed dramatically. She got dizzy from being so angry at you, he said, shooting me a glare. Could you get some motion sickness pills? She might get sick on the flight. I frowned. Right now? Won't we miss the flight? We're fine, he assured me. I'll watch your bags. Just go get the pills. Oh, really? Something wasn't right. I hesitated, then nodded.
All right.
But instead of rushing off, I stepped out of sight and went upstairs to get a better view. And just as I suspected, as soon as I was gone, Rose immediately straightened up and started laughing and chatting with James like nothing had happened. Unbelievable. Then, without hesitation, James and his parents left. They abandoned my bags right there and walked straight to the gate without me. So this was their plan all along. I rushed back to collect my bags. No way I was leaving my things behind. Just then, my phone rang.
It was James.
I answered, watching them disappear through the gate. Where are you? He asked. His voice was dripping with fake concern. Then, with a smirk in his voice, he added, We decided to go without you.
Bingo.
I pretended to be surprised. What? James laughed. That's what you get for disrespecting Mom. Then Rose grabbed the phone. Thanks for the payment, dear, she cackled. We canceled only your ticket. Now we're staying at a fancy hotel, on your dime. Oh, life doesn't get sweeter than this. They burst into loud, victorious laughter. That's when I smiled. Checkmate. By all means, have a great time, I said, completely unbothered. Their laughter stopped instantly. You're strange, James said cautiously. Don't you realize we tricked you? Shouldn't you be upset? I chuckled. No tricks here. I didn't pay a dime for this trip. Silence. Then James's voice sharpened with panic. What? I could hear them whispering frantically in the background. What's going on? He demanded. I grinned. Explaining would be a hassle. I'll tell you later.
Bye.
Then I hung up. I walked out of the airport without looking back. No tears. No regrets. Just freedom. Waiting outside was my sister and her husband, standing by my car. Everything's moved in, my sister said with a smile. While I had been keeping my in-laws distracted, my sister and her husband had moved all my belongings into my new apartment, a beautiful rental condo I had secretly secured weeks ago. I sighed in relief. You guys are lifesavers. They also had my daughter with them, safe and happy. I was beyond grateful. That night, as a thank you, I took them out to a steakhouse, where we all enjoyed an incredible meal. Meanwhile, James kept calling. I ignored every single one. The next day, Around noon, my phone rang again.
James.
This time, I answered. Hey, he started hesitantly. Were you lying yesterday? I smirked. About what? I mean, I enjoyed a luxury suite in your place, he said smugly. Sure, why wouldn't you? I said sweetly. It was already paid for. There was a pause. What are you saying? I took a deep breath, enjoying this moment. I changed the account where my credit card payments get drawn from to our joint account. James's breathing hitched. And I continued. I moved all the money I put in there to my personal account. Silence. So, what does that mean? James finally croaked. I grinned. Basically, the trip was paid for with the money you put in that account. What? A choked sound came from the other end. So, I paid for it. Exactly. You've got to be kidding me. Not at all. How much did it cost? He demanded. Plane tickets, luxury hotel meals. I'd say about $5,000. James gasped. For 4 adults. I laughed. Oh no, James. For just the 3 of you. Silence. Then, James screamed in rage. And that's when I hung up. James's voice trembled through the phone. Wait, you went on the trip? But last-minute cancellations don't get refunded. You knew that, didn't you? I smirked. Of course I did. James was speechless. Why would you do this? Do you hate me? He asked weakly. I rolled my eyes. It's not about hate, James. It's just a little payback for the man who cheated. A sharp inhale. What? Oh, by the way, I continued casually, I have evidence of your affair. Just so you know. James gasped in disbelief. My voice turned cold. Prepare yourself for a divorce, alimony, and child support. You can't be serious, he stammered. I laughed. You brought this on yourself. From now on, we'll communicate through lawyers only. And with that, I hung up. I hired a top-tier lawyer and started the legal process. Everything went smoothly. I won the divorce case. James was forced to pay compensation, and so was his affair partner. I demanded child support, and the court ruled in my favor. James, of course, couldn't cover all the payments with his own earnings and savings. So, where did he turn? His dear mommy and daddy. His parents drained their savings to bail him out. Now, James is broke. His parents are broke. And the 3 of them are stuck living together in poverty. Poetic justice. As for me, I switched the credit card payment back to my account after the trial expenses were covered. I moved far away and never told James where. I cut him off completely. He will never see our daughter again. And I have no regrets. Looking back, marrying such a terrible man was my biggest regret. But it gave me the greatest gift of my life, my daughter. From now on, it's just the 2 of us. And we're going to be happier than ever. Please feel free to comment below if you like this. Remember to like and subscribers for more.